Good evening. Ms. O'Connor, Ms. Wise, members of the board. You're always sending a message, whether you're talking or not. You've got legal here, you got labor relations, you've got audits. Why vote down a discussion? Refusing to discuss the things that matter to educators is a pattern for this board. That's not working for you. You continue to erode the trust of this community. And even though this might fall on deaf ears, I want the record of this meeting to reflect, and the people who will watch later to know, that the recently released report from the Office of Legislative Audits said, HCPSS executed a contract for $8.1 million for the purchase of Workday without the use of a competitive procurement. Went on to say HCPSS was unable to provide any written analysis documenting why other vendors' software packages would not be suitable. This procurement lacked any documented basis as to why competitive procurement methods were not used. It went on to say HCPSS selected a different vendor to install Workday for $2.4 million and stated the vendor was selected by the sole source procurement method, even though there are numerous firms that can install the software. Last night, your employees received an unsigned email saying they would see a reduction in their November 18th paychecks. Generic reasons were offered as possibilities. They were not told how much would be deducted. Many contacted us to ask if it was even legitimately from you. Paul, are these Russian hackers? Is this a phishing scam? A typical response to me, and this is a quote, said, I'm going to read it all to you. Hi, Paul. I'm a paraeducator studying to become a teacher. I received the email about miscalculations. Mine says I was underpaid. With no explanation, there are no dates, and says I will see the money November 18th. Since the school year started, I have not received a correct paycheck. It started with the smaller amounts the first 2 pay periods. Then, my paycheck was for a larger amount than normal, but also our raises went into effect, so I thought that was going to be the norm. Friday morning, I received an email that said they took too much out for Maryland State retirement, and I received additional compensation. At 4 p.m., I received another email that said I was overpaid, and it will be deducted from the next 10 pay periods. I emailed back, asking questions like, how much was this overpayment? How much would come out of each paycheck? Why did this happen? The only response I received was that I was overpaid $707, no explanation as to why. Last night, receiving the latest email, I have no idea what a normal paycheck looks like. I cannot find in my pay stubs if the $707 is actually being taken out or not. This is unfortunate because, as you know, HCPSS executed a contract for $8.1 million for the purchase of Workday without a competitive bid. HCEA has identified many problems, from using leave to incorrect leave balances, disclosures of employee numbers and participation in sick leave banks, and on-leave statuses, distribution of summer pay, paychecks for employees that never arrived, miscalculation of pension contributions that were taken out when they shouldn't have been, incorrect withholdings for CPD coursework, and now this. Yesterday, HCEA asked for the names of the affected employees, how much they can expect to have withheld, when the original errors occurred, and whether HCPSS had a plan to communicate with its workforce. It probably goes without saying that that request was refused. HCPSS clearly had the information. You emailed 1,500 people hours after denying this information to us. This is not productive. It is demoralizing to work as hard as we do, have our pay docked, and not be told the reason or the amount. I bring this to the attention of the Board of Education because we need you to assert yourselves. The frequency of errors, failures in communication, refusals to engage with us as the official representative of your employees, and simple unpredictability of wage, it's entirely unacceptable. On behalf of the association, we request that the Board of Education absorb the cost of these overpayments. Had you had that discussion, you would have that number. You need to fix this. And And then in writing, you need to engage with us about how any payroll adjustments will be made in the future, period. Thank you.